There is widespread condemnation from politicians following a night of violence in Montreal. Pro-Palestinian and anti-NATO demonstrations turned violent Friday night as NATO delegates meet for the annual assembly. Protesters clashed with riot police. Cars burned and windows smashed in the chaos. 3 people were arrested. The Prime Minister denounced what he called acts of anti-Semitism, a claim protesters deny. CTV's Jeremie Charron starts us off.
A Friday night protest in Montreal turned destructive. Cars on fire, smoke bombs launched, and windows smashed at downtown businesses. An escalation of what started as pro-Palestinian and anti-NATO protests, which filled the streets of downtown Montreal as NATO officials gathered to meet in the city.
At the end, we have a group was organized. It wasn't there for the cause, it was there just to destroy the windows, the cars, and they were there to do some criminal act.
Police say 3 protesters were arrested. 1 officer suffered minor injuries. Witnesses say there were significant clashes between police and demonstrators. Several protesters were injured by police. At least 4 were taken to hospital. This afternoon, more anti-NATO protests with a similar message, but organizers distanced themselves from Friday's destruction.
We clearly had nothing to do with them. We as a peace movement intend to demonstrate and protest peacefully.
And today, condemnation from Ottawa.
What we saw was not peaceful protests. What we saw was actually violence, hate, and anti-Semitism, and this has no place on our streets.
Demonstrators deny the claim of anti-Semitism, saying they demonstrated against the complicity of NATO member countries in a war that has killed thousands of Palestinians. In a statement on X, the Prime Minister called it appalling, saying acts of anti-Semitism, intimidation, and violence must be condemned, adding there must be consequences and rioters held accountable.
Lawful peaceful protests can be co-opted by anarchists who have other agendas.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre blamed Trudeau for the violence in a social media post, saying in part, this is what happens when a Prime Minister spends 9 years pushing toxic woke identity politics.
The protests are expected to continue as Canada and its NATO allies face criticism over their handling of global conflicts. Heather?
Jeremy, thank you.